So I thought I'd do a quick seedling progress video. We'll actually just start with those broad beans. Look at those coming on so nicely there. And yeah, so everything's kind of off outside, hardening off at the moment. So we've got little sweet corn. I think these are just over 3 weeks old. That's the point at which I like to plant them. So I'll be planting those in a couple of days' time. I've got some of my squash. These are mostly winter squash. Crown Prince and sweet dumpling and butternuts and all those sorts of things. And they're all looking reasonable. These are all really old seeds. I basically did a clear out of all my old squash seeds and planted all of them. So yeah, some of them were a bit slow to germinate. Some of the plants were not looking so sort of genetically healthy, but I think they'll pull through. Got some New Zealand spinach there and some lettuces. I'm into planting all my lettuces at the moment into my pepper beds, and they look really nice like that. So I'm very much about the aesthetics. You wouldn't think so when you look at the horrible nets and everything on my plot at the moment, but I do like my beds to look nice. And these are the storage beetroot, and the beetroot that we're going to be eating in summer is pretty much all sown now. And the furthest on is looking really nice. That's in the Polytunnel, started that in January. And yeah, it's sized up really nicely, but all of these low tunnels, of which there's quite a few there, there's 5 in total I think, they've all got beetroot at the back of them. So we've got more than enough beetroot to see us through until autumn. And then let's just take a look over here. These are all leeks that we haven't got planted yet because we've got no space for them, so they're potted on into these big pots. Obviously the leeks in the ground are doing much nicer than these, but they're good enough, and they should hold in these pots until I've got space, which will be probably July time, I should think. And then various different salad onions and some more leeks and some parsley and yeah, bits and pieces on here. Just planted out my French beans outside, but these French beans are just about to burst into flower in the polytunnel, so that's always nice to see, ready for pinching out now. And then in the polytunnel, for reasons that I won't go into, I haven't planted out my tomatoes yet. These are still pretty young plants, so they're going to hold quite happily in these pots. I'm never in a rush really to get my tomatoes planted because I've got these early ones, you know, in hanging baskets, and I've got some tubs with these in as well. And I think I've got 6 tubs and 6 hanging baskets or something like that. So yeah, I've got plenty of early tomatoes, so I'm in no rush. A few of the ones in hanging baskets just have not thrived, so these are the ones that basically had no roots. This was a problem I had with the cucumbers, the early squashes and the tomatoes and the peppers, that basically none of them had roots because of the compost that they'd been grown in. There was something wrong with it that's not really been fully explained. And I've got just down here just a few little okra. I'm not growing as much okra this year because I'm trying to reduce the number of containers that I've got. And I've got one little solitary melon here, but actually I've got some much nicer melons. And so I'm growing 3 different families of melons this year in 3 of my low tunnels. And yeah, they're looking quite good. And I don't want to plant them out yet because all of those beds are absolutely full of cauliflowers and calabrese and things. And the calabrese in particular is just looking so really lovely that I just really don't want to take it out right now. So I'm just holding these melons in the pots and hopefully they'll still be okay. I've got some late celery here. We've got some celery planted in the ground as well, which is doing okay. And of course we've got the polytunnel celery, which we started off in January, and we're actually harvesting this as whole heads, whole big bunches of it right now, rather than individual leaves, because there's just too much of it, to be honest. So I haven't got space for the tomatoes, so I'm just taking that out. And yeah, there's some more of the kind of early tomatoes and things doing quite well in here. And yeah, since we're down here, I might as well look at some of the courgettes, kicking out 2 or 3 courgettes a week. And I've got a few of those plants in here, not all of them quite as far along. There's another one there, just that's its first fruit on there, just a bit spindly, but subsequent ones will be better. So yeah, let's look outside. I've just planted my last succession of peas for harvest in summer, but these peas are looking really great at the moment. Just such an abundant harvest on them. So yeah, very happy with those. And this year I'm planting more for winter and a little bit less for summer, because so we don't have a summer glut. So I've got some lovely extra kales here, some calabrese down here, actually colettes down there, some calabrese up here, red cabbages and Brussels sprouts. And then these are the only carrots that we've got ready for harvest. We've been picking this tub as the first ones, so you can see these are the ones we started 25th of October, and they're all doing reasonably well. So this is the next batch for early summer. I don't know what that is growing in there, a potato. I have a habit of using spent potato compost for things and not quite getting all the potatoes out. But then these 2 tubs, which were a trial, so trying to start them in January rather than October, and basically like this is what happened, nothing basically happened. There are some little carrots in here, but yeah, maybe I'll have those in salads, but I mean there's just no top growth at all. So I don't know, I think I use the same mix that I normally use for these. Maybe it was just because it was spent potato compost, maybe I should have used a little bit more. But these were all the same and they're looking fine, and these are much later on. You know, these are much younger plants than these. I've never seen anything like these, so stunted. And my summer and early autumn carrots, they've all germinated now. They're looking quite good. I'll just take the net off actually so you can see them a bit better. There's a few patches where germination wasn't fantastic, but in the main I'm really happy with them. And you can see I've got some more beetroot down the back there. So I think we'll leave it there. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.